Hi there, kids. We have three pets at home. We have a black and white cat named Sophie, who's 10 years old. And we got Sophie because we didn't have any pets at home. And one day my wife was working at the grocery store where she used to work. We lived in Pennsylvania. And she was leaving work that night. And as her and her coworkers were leaving, a van came through the grocery store parking lot and they just dumped a little kitten right outside the door and kept driving off. I guess assuming that somebody around the store would take the cat home, which my wife did. And at first I was like, well, bring it home for the night and we'll find a home for it tomorrow. But of course, by tomorrow, we knew where the home was going to be. And so Sophie's been in our home ever since then. Our second pet is our dog named Sam, which we got almost 5 years ago. The kids were really asking for a dog, and I was kind of the one holding out in the family and realized that was kind of selfish. And you kind of want a kid to grow up with a dog if they really want one. So my wife and I started looking online for a puppy that we could rescue. And we did. We found a little puppy, lived over by Terre Haute, somewhere over in there. And there was a mother dog and had two puppies, and the owner didn't want any of them, and so they turned them over for a rescue. And so we were able to take Sam as a little 8-week-old puppy and bring him home, and to be a part of our family ever since. So that's how Sam became a part of our family. And then um, last summer, we saw online that the vet over here had some kittens that had been found that were just born in the wild, and the city workers had taken them to the vet, and there was one kitten left in the litter that had not a home yet, and it was a little orange cat. And my wife had always thought she would love to have a little orange cat. And so it happened to be when we saw that online that Edie and Alina and I were together, and it happened to be Edie's birthday. So everybody was in a really good mood, and we just kind of go, okay, let's go get another cat, even though we didn't necessarily plan on that. It was a very spontaneous decision. So we were able to get our cat named Louie into our household as well, and he's about a year old. What do all three of those pets have in common? Anything? Now, two are cats and one's a dog, so they're a little different. Although the cats often act like the dog and the dog acts like the cats, actually. They've blended their personalities together in a very funny way. Um, but you know what? All three of them were at one point unwanted, unneeded. They were without a home. And what happened? They got needed, they got wanted, and they got a home. So we kind of like that because we feel like we've brightened up their lives as just as they've brightened up our lives, having them in our household. You know what? God has done that for us. You know, in a way, we were unneeded, unwanted. We didn't have a home because we were far away from God. Even if we're good kids or good adults, we're still far away from God because our sin blocks us from God. But God sees something in us that we didn't necessarily see in ourselves or that was in ourselves. He saw potential. You know that word potential? Potential means something that could be, something that could develop, something that could grow. And God saw that inside of us when we were little puppies and kitties that didn't have a home. And He said, I want them. And so He went after us. You know that? He went after us. He went all the way from heaven to earth. Yes, God came to earth to get us. God gave up His life on the cross, didn't He? You know, why did He do that? To pay the penalty of our sin, to make it so we could be needed and wanted and have a home. And so He did that. And through faith, we believe and we receive that gift and we go into His home and we become adopted into His family, just like these three little animals were in our family. Perhaps you have a pet at home that you adopted. Maybe they were from a store. Maybe they were from a rescue. Maybe it was somebody that couldn't take care of them any longer. Maybe you just found them on the street. Yet we bring them into our home. And not to say that we're God's pets. We're a lot more important than that, although pets are pretty important. But God loves us. We're made in His image, and He creates His image in us as we grow in Him. We belong to Him. So that's something to thank God for. So be thankful, and keep an eye out on your pets. Take good care of them. Okay? Love you all. Bye-bye.